You guys remember Illuminati, right? And how her whole downfall may have never happened if she didn't decide to falsely accuse a lawyer of plagiarism. Now you remember, I remember, Integrity Farms remembers, but apparently some YouTuber didn't get the memo and now people are messing with the lawyers again. Probably the stupidest possible thing that you could do. This time though, it's kind of in reverse because instead of somebody falsely accusing a lawyer of plagiarism, this person has plagiarized a lawyer. Something that I would argue is an even stupider mistake to make, in all honesty. Now, this happened between two YouTubers, one being EvenBadWolves Gaming and the other being Inkslasher. Now, EvenBadWolves Gaming is the lawyer in question, the one who is claiming that her video was plagiarized by Inkslasher. And this has resulted in a ton of videos, and now this is going to court. This man really messed up. So this was the video that started this whole controversy. This is EvenBadWolves Gaming, and the video is titled "Inkslasher stole my video, so I'm suing him." It's kind of self-explanatory, but I thought we would give it a little bit of a watch so we can see what she says and the evidence that she uses to show that he plagiarized her. Now, before we watch, I have to say, very importantly, everything in this video is based on speculation, allegations, and opinions. Do not sue me. Thank you.
On the 13th of August, I released a video about the story of Dying Light prior to the Beast. About a month later, another YouTuber called Inkslasher also released a video about the story of Dying Light prior to the Beast. The problem though is that his video is my video. Well, mostly. His video is 43 minutes long. More than 30 minutes of that are my video, just with a poorly rewritten version of the script recorded over it. Let's have a look at the introductions to the franchise in both of the videos. This is all mine. My footage, my screen recordings of the websites, my composition, and most importantly, my editing. Most of the gameplay footage throughout Inkslasher's video is my video as well. The remaining parts of his video consist of an intro and outro by Inkslasher himself, and cutscenes taken from Gamer's Little Playground, including the very first cutscene from the first game, where you can see not—
So let's just quickly recap here. So what is going on here is it seems like Inkslasher downloaded her video and just used it. Of a 43-minute video, he used half an hour of it. Or, yeah, no, sorry, I got that wrong. He cut it down, he cut some bits out, and mostly just fully used her video, except for when he used bits of somebody else's video and filmed his own intro and outro. But it's all her editing, right? That's her work. It's not like this was just cutscenes or whatever. This was the way she had edited and presented the video, and you can see it very clearly there, what he did.
Not only Gamer's Little Playground's watermark, but also their subscribe graphic pops up. Look, my video took over 200 hours to make.
So blatant. It's so blatant. The little subscribe thing. Like, even, right, the cutscene is maybe not as egregious, right? Because it's a cutscene, it belongs to the game, to the company. But the bit that's her editing, that's her editing. That's not even cutscenes. That's her screen recordings and gameplay and going over websites and everything like she discussed. But the fact that he clearly took this other person's videos of the cutscenes, left in the little subscribe graphic, and just didn't bother to say, by the way, this is where I got them from. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh right off the bat, but I've already seen this guy's attitude. Spoiler. It's not great.
Make, and that's not an exaggeration. See, Dying Light 2 in particular has many different story options, and different endings depending on the choices you make. In my Dying Light 2 section, I made great efforts to identify each path, and label them in the video. What Dying Light 2 doesn't have is a manual save system, all the options and get all the endings. You have to replay it, repeatedly. So that's what I did in order to get the footage for my video. I would be very surprised if Inkslasher, on the other hand, has ever even played it once. See, one of
the fact that he even left in her labeling, because you can see there she had like labeled what playthrough it was, the Renegade playthrough or whatever, and he just leaves that in, like that's very clearly her editing. Before we get into that though, I want to tell you about CyberGhost, who are sponsoring today's video. Here's the thing. If you think incognito mode is keeping you private online, then I have got some very bad news for you, because your internet provider, your school, your work's IT department, even your home Wi-Fi router can still track everything that you do online. And that is where CyberGhost comes in, because it encrypts all your traffic and reroutes it to servers in over 100 countries so that nobody can track what you're doing online. Not your ISP, not your work, not hackers, not even CyberGhost themselves. And besides that, CyberGhost VPN is also really useful for other stuff too. It allows you to unlock content from over 40 streaming platforms like Netflix or Amazon Prime for different regions. And it also lets you get better deals online, all by changing your virtual location. Plus, you can protect up to 7 devices at once, which is perfect if you want to share with friends or family. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it is one of the most trusted VPN services out there. Right now, you can get 84% off CyberGhost VPN. That is just $2.03 a month, plus 4 extra months completely free by using the link in my description. There's also a 45-day money-back guarantee, so it is completely risk-free. And by using the link in my description, you are also helping to support this channel, which I always really appreciate. So thank you so much to CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get on with the rest of it.
The problems with his video is that it's wrong. Parts of the story are retold incorrectly, with massive mistakes that no one who played the games would make. There is a mission in Dying Light 1, for example, where you're trying to find a drug called Anderson, and you were told that there might be a stockpile of it in a school. So you go there to check it out, but instead of the Anderson, you happen to find explosives. In Inkslasher's version though, you go to the school searching not for the Anderson, but for the explosives. The same issues occur in his Dying Light 2 section. In Dying Light 2, you were trying to find your sister Mia. Along the way, you have to do different tasks for different people, and early on you are investigating the death of a character called Lucas. Lucas had a unique weapon, and you were told that someone named Maya had been trying to sell this weapon. You track Maya down, but find that she's a young girl who had nothing to do with the death. This is Inkslasher's version.
Lo and behold, the information that he finds out is that the person with the Lazarus weapon, in other words, the person who killed the commander, is a girl by the name of Maya, who's held up in the tenement building. So of course, Aiden goes there and meets with Maya. Now, when he gets to Maya expecting to see his sister, it is not his sister. It is a completely different Maya that is a child and apparently found the Lazarus.
Yeah, in this part of his video, he thinks that Aiden's sister's name is Maya, and thinks that Aiden was expecting to find his sister with Lazarus. There are other mistakes.
So, like, sometimes when you're making YouTube videos, right, you make mistakes, you get something wrong, you forget something. But if the whole point of this video is you're doing, like, Dying Light, the full story, timeline explained, right? Like, that's something that you've put a lot of research into. You've clearly played the game to record the footage, which obviously you didn't, because this is the same footage just ripped from EvenBadWolves Gaming, her video. But let's say you played the game, you should not be getting so much basic story information wrong. Like, this is just lazy. My assumption would be that this guy, he just like took his scripts and wrote them based on other people's videos rather than actually based on the game itself, which, if he's not even bothered to like record his own gameplay footage for the video, then yeah, that's not shocking. That's not shocking at all.
Mistakes in the video, but these are two examples which fundamentally change the story and render Inkslasher's video completely useless for what it was trying to do, which was explain the story of Dying Light. But of course, the main issue here isn't that he is a fake.
Exactly.
No, the issue here is that he is a huge creator with over 1 million subscribers who chooses to steal from smaller creators. Because he hasn't just done this to me. There are other videos on his channel which very clearly contain content from smaller creators. So if you do watch any of his videos...
Well, yeah, because if he does it once, it's, you know, it would be unsurprising to assume that he has done it before and will do it again. And unfortunately, there are a lot of creators that do this. And the fact that this channel has 1 million subscribers and is allegedly just ripping people's videos is obscene. I do remember, I think I've spoken about this before, I like dealt with one channel that was clearly just like a content mill, like an actual content mill, not the way that people say it now, but this person took my full script my full script from my video and just read it. It was about Venus Angelic, and it was so weird because I think this channel had like done it a year after my video, or even 2 years after my video. So when I was saying stuff like, oh, this happened a year ago, they were also saying this happened a year ago, except at this point, it didn't happen a year ago. It was 3 years ago. But it wasn't even like that was what made it obvious. It was literally word for word my script. The only thing that was taken out was my name. It was absolutely, wow. Guys. I apologize. Absolutely insane is what I was trying to say there.
Firstly, stop doing that. He doesn't deserve your views. But if you do, and you happen to see a video that looks really similar to another YouTuber, let that other YouTuber know. Because unless someone tells us, or we happen to click on a video, we won't ever know that our content was stolen. There is a good chance that Inkslasher thought that I was so small that no one would notice, or tell me that my content had been stolen. And he probably thought that if I did find out, nothing would happen. Because generally nothing does. I filed a copyright claim, and he filed a counter notification, telling YouTube that his video was his original content. Obviously, this wasn't true, but once a counter notification has been filed, all you can do to protect your content is start legal proceedings. You have to sue the person who stole from you. And YouTube only gives you 10 days to do this before they reinstate the infringing video.
Yeah, I just want to like reiterate this point because this is like really important going forward. But to fully understand, I know she just said it, but I'm just reiterating it. What happens with YouTube's copyright system is it's not a great system, right? I don't know how they could fix it. I don't work for YouTube, okay? I just make videos. That is, my job is not to figure out their copyright system. But what happens is if I was to make a copyright claim on somebody's video, that is then sent to that person. So say I copyright claim iNabber, right? I don't know why I would do that, but just say that happens. I send a copyright claim to iNabber. That gets sent to iNabber. And then iNabber gets to say, okay, yeah, I'll make changes or take the video down or whatever. Or iNabber gets to go, no, my thing was fair use or transformative, or it's my footage. YouTube doesn't actually make the decision. iNabber does. And if iNabber says, no, this isn't copyright, I have full rights to do this, then my only option is to drop it or to sue him. And most people, understandably, do not want to get involved in any kind of legal proceedings because it's expensive. It takes a long time, it's a hassle, and it just ends up being a loss for you in the end. I mean, look at everything that's going on between Dissociated and Sergio Costa. Like, that has been going on for what? 5 years? Couldn't be 5 years. 3 years. A ridiculously long amount of time that has been going on. And it's expensive. It's just nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. But that's basically what it is. It gets sent to the person who did the plagiarism or the copywriting or whatever, and they get to decide. And your only option then is actual legal action. However, in this case, the person is a lawyer. He maybe would have wanted to have checked that.
Small creators just don't have any capacity to do this. Lawsuits are very expensive, and the legal system is really complicated. So for most creators who have their content stolen, that's where the story ends. The video is reinstated. The bad guy wins. But not this time. This time the small creator he stole from is a lawyer. When Inkslasher filed a false counter notification, YouTube told me I had to take legal action, and that's exactly what I did. I filed in the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia, which I can do because I'm Australian and I created the video here. Australian copyright law uses a clear-cut standard called fair dealing, which Inkslasher cannot claim. He may instead try to argue that my video is just content from Dying Light, but the footage I recorded, edited, and turned into a video is legally mine, even according to the developers and user license agreement. My hope is that by me seeing this through, it will not only protect my videos, but it will set a precedent that will make it easier for other creators who have their content stolen to take action. I'm also talking to a law firm who is
That's important as well, because like in a lot of these cases, actually in all legal cases that I have ever read, they have to use examples of other similar cases where, well, based on this case, I'm allowed to argue this thing, or this case won on this, or this case said that actually, no, this isn't correct. And they have to reference those things. So if there's a case where somebody rips this kind of video and gets taken to court and loses because, look at it. Look at it in front of you, then if somebody else was to ever go to court for a similar issue, then this case could be used as legal precedent for that. So this actually really could help people. I know it sounds like a really big kind of dramatic thing to take somebody to court over this, but you have to understand this is somebody with like 1 million subscribers who is allegedly doing this to people all the time and will just get away with it. And if they get taken to court, it's going to kind of stop other people who may be tempted to do the same thing, which I can only think is probably a good thing.
Is interested in seeing if there is a way to streamline the path for creators, so that it is a bit more cost effective for small creators to take action in the future. In terms of the cost for my matter, I was quoted up to 135,000 Australian dollars for the whole case. I have already spent a few $1,000s on legal fees to have a copyright lawyer review my application and send correspondence on my behalf. I am determined to see this through regardless of the cost, in order to set the precedent that stealing from small creators...
Just to be clear, she's not a copyright lawyer. That's why she is getting a lawyer for this and not just doing it all herself. She needs somebody who is experienced in copyright law.
This will not be tolerated, and there will be real consequences for larger creators who try to take advantage of the power imbalance that exists on YouTube. I could use your support though to see this through. If you're able to, you can donate to my GoFundMe to help cover the legal cost of this case and set a precedent for small creators. Even if you can't donate, you can still help by watching my videos, sharing this one, or letting other creators know about this issue. While I am a lawyer with a steady income, I work primarily in family law on fixed fee matters. This means that I don't have tens of thousands of dollars readily available to cover these legal fees, unlike larger creators who make significant income from their channels and can use their resources to crush small creators. Every bit of support helps level the playing field. And if you are a small gaming creator, maybe take the time to have a look at Inkslasher's channel, just to make sure that your content doesn't appear there. If it does, please feel free to reach out to me. I've already started.
So there you go. I thought we would take maybe a little look at her GoFundMe as well, just so we can quickly see. There we go. So let's see. She's raised 10,000. I thought it said 100. I was like, whoa, that went up since I looked at it last. She has raised 10,000 Australian dollars out of her 50,000 goal. So obviously, you know, people are going to agree or disagree with her, but if you want to donate, I am going to link that in the description. I do think this is worth it for the fact that what he did, in my opinion, is just clear-cut plagiarism. He just took her edits, used them, and is claiming that they are his, which is kind of obscene and kind of not cool, dude. Not cool at all. But let's just have a quick look at what it actually says here. My name is Libby, and I run the EvenBadWolves Gaming YouTube channel. I create long-form, story-driven gaming videos that I research, write, and edit entirely on my own. It's a hobby which has grown to a supportive community of just over 10,000 subscribers who value thoughtful storytelling and respect for creative work. Recently, a YouTuber named Inkslasher, who has 1.19 million subscribers, stole one of my videos. My video is about the story of Dying Light. Inkslasher used my work to create a competing video on the story of Dying Light and upload it to his channel as a direct competitor to mine. Of the 43-minute runtime of his video, over 30 minutes was my footage. I have uploaded a video on my YouTube channel showing how my content was used, which I will have linked to this GoFundMe. When I filed a copyright claim through YouTube to have the infringing video taken down, he responded with a false counter notification claiming that his video was all his original content. This left me with two options: accept the theft of my work or file a lawsuit in a federal court to protect my video. I'm a family lawyer, but I'm not a copyright lawyer. This kind of case, I can read, guys, requires an experienced copyright lawyer, and those fees can be significant. I have been quoted over 100,000 in legal fees and have already spent thousands on getting the matter into court. My goal is to raise $50,000 to help me see this matter through to the end. Why this matters. This isn't just about one video, it's about principle. This is what I'm trying to say, and I agree with the principle of this. Large creators shouldn't be able to steal from smaller ones and get away with it because they assume we can't fight back. This behavior discourages creativity and silences smaller voices on YouTube. I'm in a relatively privileged position. I understand the legal system, and I have the ability to bring this fight forward. Many small creators don't. If I can use my skills and resources to set a precedent that stealing from smaller creators has consequences, I want to do that, and this is what I'm saying, and I fully agree with her on this. And the fact of the matter is, Inkslasher is not some tiny channel, right, or a new channel even, that like hasn't been in the game for a while, doesn't understand, like, isn't directly getting way more views just automatically anyway. This is somebody who has over 1 million subscribers, has been doing this for a while, definitely, in my opinion, knows better. How the funds will be used. Every dollar raised will go directly toward retaining an experienced copyright lawyer, filing and court costs, engaging experts, or discovery fees if needed. If the case resolves for less than anticipated, any remaining funds will be donated to an organization that protects digital creators' rights. If you support this cause, you're not just helping me, you're standing up for every creator who's had their work stolen and felt powerless to fight back. Thank you for sharing or contributing in any way. From Libby. So after this, Inkslasher himself decided to respond in a YouTube video, and I will be fully honest, when I first watched his video, I was like, whoa, so this other person was lying, talking about Libby, who I'm just going to call Libby now because saying that full YouTube name keeps making me stumble over my words. I thought, oh my god, was she really lying? Spoiler, no, she wasn't. He just has the audacity, it seems. And you'll see what I mean. So his video is titled, So I'm Getting Sued.
So apparently I am being sued, and I obviously haven't said anything as of yet because I didn't know what I was allowed to say. Here's the thing, the person that is suing me is a lawyer. So at the end of the video that they put out about suing me, they said this.
If you do see Inkslasher making any comments about this case, please let me know, as anything that he says now can be used in court.
Well, here's the thing. I am not a lawyer, and if I go talk to a lawyer, that lawyer tells me to not say anything. But I've been on YouTube for a very long time, and I feel as though you guys deserve to know what is actually going on, because in the video that was put out about me, it is not the full truth whatsoever. And I feel as though you guys...
I think maybe this guy should have listened to his lawyer. Because everything he says in this, in my opinion, is only making his case worse. Again, reminder, everything I'm saying is opinion and speculation. Don't sue me. Play, video, play.
You guys deserve to know, and it might get me in trouble in a court of law. But again, I think public perception is everything, and I want you guys to know where I'm coming from on this. So just to give you...
I think public perception is everything. Not like the fact that I just ripped somebody's video.
A little bit of backstory. A couple months ago, I made a video that was the entire timeline of Dying Light. This was before the Beast came out, and when I made this video, I wanted to put out a timeline so that people could watch it before the new game came out. Now, about 60 to 70% of this video is just cutscenes, either me talking over the cutscenes, explaining what's going on, or the cutscenes in and of itself. My video, I believe, was 42 minutes long. So a good portion of it, around 30 minutes, was just cutscenes. But I had some of the video that I still hadn't filled up or been able to find cutscenes or parts from the multiple endings. Well, lo and behold, I found a video by someone by the name of EvenBadWolves Gaming on YouTube. And in that video, it had some of the blanks that I was missing, and I used some of her footage in my video. I didn't ask for permission, and
it had some of the blanks that I was trying to fill in my video. This guy, the audacity. You can see why I was a little confused by this when I first watched it. And this was actually what spurred me to make this video in the first place, because that is such a false representation of what happened, because we could see just from that little bit that she showed us in her video, and from what we're going to look at later on, that that is simply not the case. It was not filling in the blanks at all. As she pointed out, 30 minutes of her video was used, or something like that. I keep getting that number wrong. I'm so sorry. See what I mean about getting stuff wrong? And I'm literally looking at it. But most of his video was her video, and it wasn't just cutscenes. It was her editing, things that she added on top, the way she structured it, the exact cuts. He didn't change it. He didn't use bits of her video just to get the cutscenes. He just used huge chunks of her video, and that is absolutely not the same thing as, oh, I didn't have all the cutscenes, so I just filled in the blanks, but most of it was mine. No, in my opinion.
And I didn't give credit, and that is where I was wrong. However, that is not the full story whatsoever. Now, if you saw the video on this, she posted it and made it look as though I completely one-to-one ripped off her video scene for scene, and that is absolutely not the case. I had, I think, nearly 500 different cuts within my video, taken from the cutscenes and from the cutscenes that I took from her. Now, here's the part of the story that you don't know. A few weeks ago, my video gets a copyright strike on it. So lo and behold, I've never had a copyright strike on my channel before, but sometimes music gets picked up. So I didn't think of anything, and I refuted it, and I just said, hey, it's under fair use or whatever, and let it go. Didn't even really look at it. A couple days later, I get an email.
I don't buy this. I don't buy it. I don't buy that he got a copyright claim, didn't look at it, and just refuted it. That's absurd. Like, that is really ridiculous of a thing to say. I'm going to give you an example, right? Because currently I have a copyright claim on my channel. Not a copyright strike, so obviously a bit different, but a claim. But the structure of what happens is similar. Now, the reason I have a claim is because I did a video for my members on YouTube where I was reacting to one of Watcher's videos. Watcher is another channel, we've talked about them before. Now, because of this, the video can't be monetized, but I just left it because I don't monetize the videos for members anyway. There's no ads on them, obviously. So that's why this is still here. So you can see what comes up, right? It tells, first you get an email, actually. First you get an email that explains which video has been copyrighted. Then to do anything about that, you have to go on to the YouTube Studio page and you have to see this little box here that comes up. Like, this is unavoidable. This is the copyright details. It's not a copyright strike. No visible restrictions. Sometimes I've had before, there are restrictions. I tried to upload a video for my members of me reacting to Charlie XCX's new music. I ended up putting that on Patreon because I couldn't put it here because it got fully blocked. It wasn't, this video can't be monetized. It was, this video cannot be seen by anybody. Therefore, I was like, well, okay, well, that's, I'm just going to remove it then. It says the content used, content type, visual. This video can't be monetized. Then when you go into see details, you get like the claimants, whatever, content type, visual, and then you can see all the timestamps of where there is copyrighted material. This says on behalf of Watcher here. And this probably would have said Bad Wolf Gaming, I assume. And then it says impact on video. What you can do to resolve the claim, you can choose to edit your video or dispute the claim, right? Then when you click take action, you are met with these different things. Now, here's where it gets real funky. He's claiming that he thought that this was music, right? He thought, oh, it's just music. YouTube has had new features for a while now where you can replace the song. That's actually been there for ages. Or you can erase the song. They have like some kind of software stuff that allows the music to be erased with your voice still being present. I've actually used that recently. But that's been around for a little while now. Couple of months that this erase song has been there. But you can see those are the options that you would take if this was a music issue. Unless you wanted to dispute it. But regardless, this is grayed out. You cannot click these things because it's not music. And this is ridiculous. It absolutely just doesn't make any sense. Then, if you choose to file a dispute, you have to, I'm not going to go into the form, right? Or maybe I will, let's see. You have to fill out a form so that you can say exactly how this is fair use. You can't just say it's fair use. You have to tell them exactly. So, look, you have to select the reason. Original content, license, copyright exceptions such as fair use, or public domain. You have to pick these, so you need to know what it is that you're talking about. Is it music that you've licensed off of a website like Epidemic Sound, which, if you don't know Epidemic Sound, I use it. It's a website that has lots of music up on it, and you can pay monthly to be able to use these on your YouTube channel or on social media or whatever. So you have a license to use those. Or is it fair use? Well, if it's music, sorry, my hair is doing a funky thing and it's getting in my eyes. If it's music, how do you know it's fair use? Are you sure? You have to give all these reasons. So for all of this, this is why I'm saying it's absolutely absurd for this man to be claiming, oh, I just thought it was music or something. I didn't know. Okay, well, how? How did you not know? Like, there are so many steps that have to be done before you could even get to filling out a dispute that it does not make sense that he would have thought that. Now, I'm not saying he's lying. I just personally believe that he's lying or he's stupid. So which one is it, dude?
Email from a lawyer saying that I need to take down this video immediately. Now, As a YouTuber, I get crazy emails all the time that are not real. So I took a look at it, and the main thing that it was claiming is that I used gameplay that was not mine. So with just a quick Google search, I looked it up and I said, is gameplay copyrighted by the person that records it? And Google AI told me no, the people that own the gameplay are actually the developers themselves. Now I've spoken.
This man. This man used Google AI. He used Google AI for his legal advice. He used Google AI for his legal advice. And this is not like when AI has just started coming out and we don't know any better, right? We all know by now that AI gets stuff wrong. And Google AI is notorious for this. You cannot be using it for your legal advice. In fact, hold on. Here's an example of Google AI specifically getting something wrong. Somebody searched societal benefits of nuclear war. According to an article by Dean Burnett in The Guardian, a nuclear apocalypse could have scientifically proven benefits, including increased human diversity. Radiation can increase DNA mutations, which can be passed on to offspring and accelerate evolution. No more immigration problems. A nuclear war would reduce countries to irradiated wastelands, making it difficult to relocate. This is where he's getting his legal advice. This is legitimately where he's getting his legal advice. I can't even, like... By the way, I need to say, obviously we're all aware, but sometimes, you know, stuff happens. I do not agree with that take, clearly, okay? Let's not get it twisted.
Spoke to people since then, and no one seems to have an actual answer what the legal truth of that actually is, but it doesn't really matter, because what it comes down to is what is moral and what is morally the correct thing to do. So I responded to it and I said, hey, I understand that I used a part in this video that does not belong to me, it is someone else's. I'm fine with taking down this video. Could you please just rescind the copyright strike? Then I don't have a copyright on my channel. We can take it right down. That was originally one of the things that the lawyer just wanted me to do in the document that they sent me. I agreed to it, but then when the next email came in, they said, no, no, no. So then I responded and I said, hey, I only used a part of this video in my video. I will pay you the entire amount that I made off of this video, and then we can take it down or leave it up depending on what you want me to do. No, they said that wasn't okay either.
The way he reframes stuff is just absurd. We'll get to it. It's so hard to just let him talk and not interrupt and be like, you're full of shit. But I want to.
I guess I don't exactly know what they wanted. So in their video, they said that they want to sue me because they want the system to work correctly. Well, to me, a copyright system exists so that the proper people can get paid from the work that has been done. And in this case, even though I didn't take the whole video, I offered to pay every cent I made off of that video to them. Conveniently, that was left out of their video. They never said that about me whatsoever. But yeah, I offered to do that because I felt like it was the right thing because I made a mistake. But hey, this is the lawyer. Maybe the lawyer wanted something else altogether. I don't know. But lo and behold, 10 days goes by because after you fight back against a copyright strike, there's 10 days where it can be refuted by, I guess, either side. I don't know. Again, I'm not a lawyer. But the 10 days goes by and YouTube puts up my video. So I just assumed that they found that there was nothing wrong with it. I didn't take too much of someone else's video.
As a big YouTuber, 1 million subscribers, he should know by now, and I feel like he does know. I'm not saying he's lying. I would never say that. But he should know by now how this system works. Because those 10 days are in place because you've disputed the claim, you've said, no, actually, I have the right to do this. Then her only option is to sue you. So it's not that YouTube is doing some investigation and they found nothing's wrong. It's just that person has 10 days to take legal action against you, or else the video automatically goes back up. And he should know that. A lot of people who don't even do YouTube know that, just from watching videos about stuff like this.
I don't know. But then a couple days after that video went back up, I received an email directly from EvenBadWolves Gaming in a way telling me that I need to take this video down. And I explained I didn't mean to take anything that was gameplay whatsoever. And I did, and that is wrong. And even with YouTube putting my video back up, I said I would take down the video, once again offering directly to her this time to pay her for everything that I've made of that video. And even though I edited the gameplay that I took of hers, it's still not okay, and I should absolutely know better. But she essentially just said, no, I'm gonna sue you. Which, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer. I guess she can do that, but...
No, Ellen. That's not what happened.
Personally, to me, I get that people make mistakes and do things that they shouldn't do. And so here's the issue that I have. Number one, in the video that she made on me, she made it look like I ripped off the entire video. I just want you to know that's not the case. I spent a lot of time editing it, and most of the video was not from her video.
I spent a lot of time editing it, by which he spent a lot of time waiting for the video to download. In my opinion, allegedly. Actually, not even it's a joke. It's a joke. For legal reasons, it's a joke.
Whatsoever. It was mostly simply cutscenes. Number two, I tried to make this right away. As soon as I realized I did something wrong, I offered to take down the video, pay for the entire video, not just the sections of theirs that I used. And finally, YouTube didn't take my video down. I took my video down because they asked me to, yet they still want to sue me. So I don't know. I tried to make doing something wrong right, but apparently everyone's mad at me. And for those of you who have stuck by me and said, hey man, we're here for you no matter what. I hope everything's good. I hope you learned from whatever you did wrong. Yeah, of course I did. I'm always learning and I'm always trying to be better because of it. But
I am not here for you. And in fact, I don't want to listen to this man speak anymore. We're going to skip to Livy's video because she goes over everything that he said anyway, and I'm sick of it. But it's at the wrong aspect ratio. Let's watch what she says. Because yeah, like I said, she goes over the claims that he makes, and then we just don't have to listen to him twice.
So Inkslasher made a response video about the situation and claimed a number of things which are not true, and which I have evidence are not true. The background of this video, as you can probably tell, is a full breakdown of his Dying Light video, pointing out which parts are mine, which parts are his, and which parts are from Gamer's Little Playground. He claimed in his response that he had made this video about Dying Light, but he had some of the video that he still hadn't filled up, or parts from the multiple endings. He said that he used my video to fill in those blanks. Later in his response, he also claims that he used just small bits of my video. Now, if those things were true, then none of this would be happening because I wouldn't care. Unfortunately, it's not true. Like I said in my original video, my video accounts for just over 30 minutes of his video, or about 71% of the video.
71% is an insane amount for him to then go claim, I just used little bits of her video to fill in the blanks.
Overall. If he wants to dispute this, he can produce the editing file unaltered from the date when he uploaded the video and show everyone exactly where each bit of the video came from. As I also said in my original video,
this is where I'm wondering, are we meant to be keeping our editing files? Because as soon as I finish editing and uploading that video, the editing file, gone. I'm not keeping that. Those files are too big. I don't want them. Maybe I'm supposed to be keeping these for some reason. So I wouldn't fault him for not having that on hand. And that is probably the only slack that I'll give him here, because he's just... I know it seems like I'm being way too mean about this guy, but as we go on and you see the blatant lying that has allegedly taken place, it's just infuriating, and watching him be so bold about it, it's just made me really, really dislike this man.
The remainder of the video is comprised of cutscenes from Gamer's Little Playground, and an intro and outro which Inkslasher did. The breakdown of this remaining 29% being about 22% Gamer's Little Playground and 7% Inkslasher. In his response video, Inkslasher complained that people couldn't compare my video to his because his video was down. Well, now you can. My video was of course longer, so Inkslasher did cut my video down to make his, but if he was to try this makes it okay, well, it would be like saying that you can publish someone else's book just as long as you skip a few of the chapters. I'm going to just let the video run in the background. If you want to compare it directly to my original video on my channel, please feel free to do so. The other main issue about—
And yeah, as like this goes forward, she literally just lets them play side by side. And it's so like... The fact that he said, oh, nobody can check this because my video's down. She waited until like the video was down so nobody could check. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Let's see.
The issue about his response is how he described the communication between us. If you watched his video, you might have noticed though that he didn't show a single email to support what he was saying. There is a reason for this. I will be showing you the emails and you can see for yourself that they are not as he described. But first, let's start at the counter notification which I showed in my first video. He claims that the video was his original content, that all the audio was his, and with gameplay from a game which is public domain, if any.
We have received a counter notification below in response to a copyright removal request you submitted. A counter notification is a legal request for YouTube to reinstate a video that was removed due to a copyright removal request. You have 10 business days to reply to this counter notification. Your response must include evidence that you've taken legal action against the uploader to keep the content from being reinstated to YouTube. Usually, evidence would include a lawsuit against the uploader, which names the YouTube URLs at issue and seeks a court order to restrain the alleged infringement. Blah, 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 blah. After 10 business days, if we don't get a response from you, the content at issue may be reinstated to YouTube. You can find more information about legal action you must take and what evidence is acceptable in our help center. The YouTube team. Counter notification as follows. Videos included in the counter notification. And that is the link. Display name of uploader. Inkslasher. This video was my original content, all my audio, and with gameplay from a game which is public domain. If any assets were used, they fall under fair use. I swear under penalty of perjury that I have in good faith belief the material was removed due to a mistake or misidentification of material to be removed or disabled. This does not sound like I thought it was music at all, does it? Does it?
If any assets were used, they fall under fair use. Not really a response that you would give if you think the issue is music. I did then have a lawyer send Inkslasher a letter of demand asking him to rescind the counter notification. Inkslasher says that the main thing that was being claimed is that he used gameplay which was not his. This is not quite true. The letter set out that my video comprises gameplay footage recorded by myself, screenshots and screen recordings, and other user-generated content, and noted that I had spent a significant time editing it. I won't have the full letter on screen as it is a 5-page PDF, but if he responds to this video and tries to lie about the letter, I will redact it and add a link to it. So, in response to the request that he take back the counter notification, Inkslasher responded with this email here. Now, in his response video, he claims that in this email he said, "Hey, I understand that I used a part in this video that does not belong to me. It is someone else's. I'm fine with taking down this video. Could you please just rescind the copyright strike? Then I don't have a copyright on my channel. We can take it down." As you can see from the actual email though, he didn't say any of that. Instead, he asked for the copyright claim to be resent to him. Now, I didn't know much about how YouTube's copyright system works, but from what I could tell, you can't resend someone a copyright claim. If I was to contact YouTube and retract it after he had already lodged a counter notification, then I'm pretty sure YouTube wouldn't let me have another go at sending it. And this is what my lawyer told Inkslasher in this email.
And I do wonder, because what she's saying here is right, he wanted her to remove the copyright claim and then claim the video again? Which, first of all, why, if you want to remove it yourself? Why is that what you want? And secondly, she's likely not able to claim the same video twice after, like, rescinding her own claim. That could get her channel in trouble. And I just have to wonder, not stating anything, but I do have to wonder if Inkslasher knew that.
Email. Inkslasher again responded, saying that if I just resent him the copyright claim, then the video would be taken down. Now, in my view, there isn't really a difference between him taking back the counter notification or accepting a new copyright claim, if that was possible. Either way, to my understanding, he would get a strike. And this is what my lawyer told him in reply in this email here. Inkslasher again doubles down on just wanting the copyright claim resent to him. I don't know for sure what he was hoping to achieve by getting me to take back the copyright claim and try to send another, but I think that if I had tried to do that, I would find myself in a position where I couldn't copyright claim the video, and my only option would be to immediately start proceedings. Maybe that's what he was hoping for, and hoping that I just wouldn't start proceedings after that. Anyway, since asking him to take back the counter notification was not working, my solicitor then gave him two options. One, if what he wanted was the copyright claim to go away, then I would accept the money from the video, a written acknowledgement that he had infringed my copyright and would not do so again, and I would then retract the copyright claim and he was to take the video down. Alternatively, he could rescind the counter notification and give the same acknowledgement and assurance. I made this offer to try and get rid of the whole thing, to try and avoid suing him. Going back to his...
Like, she's gonna get into this now as well, but like, she's saying the lawyer gave Inkslasher the option, okay, well, if you really don't want the copyright strike, we can accept like an acknowledgement that this was her copyright and you give the full payment of the video, all of the revenue, which I'm not sure that I agree with that, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know, something feels a bit off about that, but he claims in his video that he immediately offered to give her all the money, which, like, why? The emails are there. Why are you lying? Why are you lying about this when the emails so factually prove that? And if this does go to court, all of that is going to be used as evidence, the fact that you lied afterwards. This could end up in, like, I don't think it's going to end up in defamation, but it could. You don't know. Why are you playing with fire here, Inkslasher? Why are we messing with the YouTube lawyers? Never mess with the YouTube lawyers.
His response, when he says in his video that he offered to pay me for the video, no, he didn't. This was an offer that I made to him as an alternative to him accepting the penalty that YouTube imposes for copyright infringement. If he had accepted that, then there would be no lawsuit. However, he did not. He sent this email back instead, saying that he would pay me, but only if the video stayed live. I quote, "There is no point to pay anything. if the video will not stay live. If you've listened to his response video, that is the complete opposite to what he says happened. He then again made the same request that I resend him the copyright claim, saying that it would stick this time. At this point, it was fairly clear to me that he wasn't going to take any accountability, and we were not going to be able to resolve this. So I had my lawyer send a final email basically saying that I regret that he refused to accept any of the offers, and I would be filing. We received no response to that email. I then proceeded to file my application on the 6th of November, 4 days before YouTube's 10-day hold period ended. I waited a couple of days hoping the court would process the application quickly and list a first court date so that I could advise YouTube when this would be, but with time running out, I sent them a copy of the filing confirmation and filed documents 8 days into the 10-day hold period. I didn't get a response to the email until the end of the 10-day period, when I got the automatic email saying that as the 10-day period had expired, the video was reinstated.
Yeah, see, their system is just a mess. Always.
What's meant to happen under YouTube's policies. I immediately emailed YouTube again, telling them that I had provided proof of the proceedings and asking for the video to be removed. I also emailed Inkslasher directly. In his video, he says that I emailed him days after the video was reinstated. This is untrue. I emailed him less than 3.5 hours after the video was mistakenly reinstated. This was his email back to me. In his response video, he claims that he explains that he didn't mean to take anything that was gameplay whatsoever, and he did, and that was wrong. He also claims that he said he would take the video down, and that he offered to pay me for the video, and that he said that even though he edited the gameplay, it's still not okay, and he should know better. As you can see, none of those things which he claims to have said are actually in this email.
I mean, once you get lawyers involved, it's kind of silly as the cost much, much more than the video makes. ... I don't think that's the point here, Inkslasher.
I responded making it very clear that I would use his conduct in keeping the video up despite the proceedings as an aggravating factor in the case. At this point, he sent this email. Again, no apology at all, no admission that he had done anything wrong, no offer of payment or anything else. Then it is pretty clear, to me at least, that the only thing stopping him from keeping the video on his channel was this lawsuit. Then, to be very clear, at no point in any of the communications did Inkslasher make any apology at all or take any accountability. His response video makes a really big deal of how as soon as we contacted him and he realized what he did was wrong, he immediately offered to take the video down and pay for the entire video. You have seen the emails now. You know that what he is saying is not true. I didn't want any money. I didn't ask for any money. I just wanted him to accept the penalty that YouTube imposes for what he did, which is a copyright strike on his channel. The only time I gave payment as an option was as an alternative to Inkslasher if he wanted to avoid the copyright strike, after the repeated request for him to do the right thing failed. I gave the payment of the profits as an option because if he refuses to take the penalty for what he did, he at the very least should not expect to profit off it. And people that have been commenting saying that I'm doing this for clout or to get subscribers, I have a faceless gaming channel. I put out videos every couple of months and they are on random games that I like from a whole bunch of genres. Some are new, some are old, and a couple are not video games at all. I do this as a hobby. I'm not trying to build some massive channel. It makes no difference to me if I have the under 10,000 subscribers that I did when I put up my first Dying Light video, or if I have 1 million subscribers. The only reason I'm doing this is because I happen to be one of the very few people who are in a position to be able to take action when a large YouTuber steals from them. Most small creators can't. I gave Inkslasher every opportunity to do the right thing here, and at every opportunity, he did not. Even now, instead of making a genuine apology video, he has decided to lie and frame the narrative as him not understanding that what he did was wrong, and then immediately trying to make it better once he realized. You know now that this is not the case. You don't have to take my word for it, or his word for it. You can just read the emails. And after you have read the emails, go back to his video and decide for yourself if what he is telling you is in those emails is correct. The fact is that he could still make an offer to take accountability and settle this outside of court. He chooses every day not to do so. He chooses every day for this to go to court. Just like he did when he filed the counter notification. Just like he did when he refused to take that counter notification back. Just like he...
Yeah, that is kind of the whole point of this, isn't it? Is the fact that, like, he could simply just take the L. He could just admit, like, I did this, I'm sorry, like, I took your video, yeah, but he just chooses to lie about it, and it's like, why? What? Why? I mean, I guess it's like he said himself, he thinks public perception is everything. Now, this video is 45 minutes long, but she only speaks for the first 10 minutes. The rest is a direct comparison of their two videos. And, I mean, you can see it for yourself pretty blatantly. I did watch through the whole thing, and yeah, in my opinion, he just took her video. But let me know what you think. I'm gonna have her GoFundMe in the description. Like, comment, share, follow me on social media. I'm VangelinaSkov everywhere. And most importantly, have an absolutely wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. Bye! Stay private and unlock global content with CyberGhost VPN. Get 84% off plus 4 months free with the link in my description. It's completely risk-free with a 45-day money-back guarantee.